Welcome to Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Garza, and tonight, it's a shame. It's a shame. I'm joined by two people whose fan bases are dying miserably as we speak. But that's okay because I'm not. My team might suck, but they're doing good in their own way, and I'm okay with that. But guys, I'm joined by, of course, Jeffrey D. Lujan as a delusional for Aaron Rodgers, baby. And I'm also joined by the professor Alex Cruz, who is ready to deport Caleb Williams. How y'all doing tonight, guys?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Man,
I've seen tell you the truth, I've actually seen worse days than being a Chicago Bears fan than this.
so you think this is the worst? This is good. This is bad. What are we feeling? Panic 1 to 10 mode right now, Alex. What do we got?
I am not panicked at all.
Ooh, no panic at all.
I think of the most casual Chicago Bears fan would be super panicked.
Oh, they're panicking. I've seen
I
videos.
know. It's so
I've,
stupid.
I've seen videos of guys leaving the stadium saying this is the worst that we've ever been. This is fire everybody, fire Eberflus, fire Waldron, deport Caleb. Whatever you need. Just. But it's nonsense. But Jeff, I mean, you're wearing the jersey. How are you feeling about your depressive, beloved goat who it never was?
Nah, yeah, obviously the Jets aren't a good football team. Rodgers looking old, but he looks like like I always said, he's serviceable. But man, that team needs more than serviceable. I don't see how the Jets were favored. I think there's just a lot of people that just bet on Rodgers because that was a no-brainer. Arizona's a good football team. Their offense is pretty hard to stop. They got a young quarterback that can buy a lot of time. He can run it. He has a lot of receivers. I just thought Arizona, of course, was a way better football team than the Jets. The Jets just aren't a good football team.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I had both teams going to the playoffs. I had Chicago going as far as maybe even the NFC title. I had the Jets being serviceable, maybe making as far as the division game. But man, to see where they've gone, um, I mean, for Jeff, it's maybe more surprising because you do have a future Hall of Famer at the helm, and it's just
Mhm.
like, what the hell's going on? And with Alex, it's like, damn, you started out 3 games slow, then you went on a hot streak for 3 games, and then you're back at the bottom of like performance wise for the QB with QBR and passer rating. 3 games later. I mean, what a up and down season for Alex, and I mean just a down season for you, Jeff. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah. At least Chicago is really injured, Everybody, the defense is injured. I don't know if the O line is injured or they're just horrible. I don't know. You might be able to tell me. But Chicago at least is injured, and when they were healthy, they were looking good. That defense was looking really good. For the Jets, yeah, there's been a couple injuries, but like I just think it's every year changes. Last 2 years they had a pretty good defense, and and this year I don't think the defense is anywhere up there. And then on top of that, yeah, the offense good. The O line sucks, and then you got an old quarterback that only has about the same time, like 2 seconds to throw, and you can't do nothing about it.
I'm making sure we're actually online right now, so that's kind of why I'm looking
Yeah.
up and down everywhere. Like
Okay.
Facebook's frozen, so I don't know. YouTube is showing us, and that's a good thing. But I don't know what's going on with Facebook at all. So if it's
Give me two
going,
seconds. I just got to run to the kitchen.
go for it. He's cooking up a meal because Aaron Rodgers couldn't cook up a win. But Alex, last week we did our rankings 1 to 32. Um, do you feel vindicated with some of those picks? I mean, obviously there are some controversies after we decided that Tennessee was 31. Everyone got a bump up one, essentially, except for the Patriots in your eyes. Which maybe you prove it out. I told you they're not the worst team in the league. But do you feel like vindicated with a lot of the like results this weekend?
No, because I still had Pittsburgh, and I had a lot of criticism there. The Cardinals.
Who criticized you for Pittsburgh?
Somebody criticized me for having Pittsburgh in the
Top
top.
10?
Yeah, didn't I have them in the top 5? I think I had him like third or fourth, honestly.
I gotta make the video still to like really know for sure the answer, but
But yeah, as far as the Texans, I mean, the tech. I don't know what's wrong. I feel like the play calling towards the end was um was mediocre at best for like because there's no way that Jared Goff throws that many interceptions and they still get a damn win.
hell yeah, brother, they do.
At that point, the coach had to look at each other, and I think D'Amico has to take a big blame for that too because he's a defensive of head coach, and of course, like you force those turnovers, but at the same time, you have to preach to your team, knowing that your offense is being being terrible. That you need to score too. I mean, it sucks to say that, but that's the same way I feel about Eberflus right now. The one thing that the Bears aren't doing is scoring on defense. That's a real hard task to ask, but if you want to be an elite defense, I think you need to do that. And D'Amico needs to start harping on it quick because, like I said, they 5 turnovers and still get a loss. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, we haven't seen Jared Goff hasn't really had those kind of like serious turnovers a lot. I mean, he's had a few games where he's had 3, right? He doesn't always like but he really doesn't throw that much. I guess he's also the first quarterback to lead a team to victory after throwing 5 turnovers. I mean, most of the time, Alex, you get 5 turnovers, you get benched for that shit. You're done. But it's a real telling where the Texans are because for you to choke that lead, and I gotta be critical with them, man, because I was critical with Justin Herbert and the Chargers when they turned the ball over on from Trevor Lawrence 5 times and still lost. I gotta be critical of the Texans. They are mid as fuck right now. Their ceiling is maybe the wild card game, and that's only because the division sucks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, what's it called? Me and my roommate were just talking about it because we're in Houston. But like Nico, man, he got off the IR and he still ain't playing. That ain't a good sign. But yeah, they got the injury bug. And man, like they haven't been able to do anything just with Tank Dell as their lead receiver, right? Like, when Nico comes back, I'll give them I do give them a little leeway until Nico comes back.
And Jose, I think I was the only one here too that said the Houston Texans were going to regress from last year.
Well, originally you said CJ Stroud, but yes, I think overall you meant that.
Yeah, I think they were a year ahead. And I think didn't they win like 9 games last year?
No, they won 10.
They were 10-8, or 10-7.
10-7 with the playoff win.
Yeah, I mean, there were some. Like, if you watch the games last year, there were still some like plays were like, damn, that wasn't a good throw, or they just got lucky, and I think this year's kind of showing out. Like, even though they have a lot of weapons, or they had a lot of weapons, even whenever everybody was healthy, you were still seeing like things wasn't really working out.
Mute that. God damn, man. But no, what's it called? What I was gonna say was, do you think the way some teams were set up this year, right? A lot of teams were set up to have big trio wide receivers. You look at, Nico, Diggs, Tank. You're looking at Rome, DJ, Keenan. Are we seeing a lot of teams making mistakes that they need to be weapon heavy versus finding protection for their quarterback? Because those are the teams that are also a lot of those teams are doing that right now, Alex, getting those 3 big weapons, that 3 wide receiver core or 1 core people. They're the ones struggling the most on the offensive line.
I think it also has to be the type of quarterback you have, though, because a lot of people are blaming the offensive line for the Bears. And I mean, I've watched every single snap, and I shit you not, the line isn't really that bad. Like, I think 18 or 15 of those sacks that Caleb has taken this year, he has held the ball over 4 seconds.
15 of the 38 sacks he's taken?
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a lot, Alex. That's still a lot of sacks to take over 9 games.
But 4 seconds is pretty damn good.
I'm not gonna dispute the fact that he's getting nervous to not want to throw to the guys, right? He's not trusting them to win the 50-50 balls, which he should, right? I think so, and it's part of the thing we've talked about. These new generation kids sometimes just get too used to, we got to have that 5-yard separation. You got to have that separation. Otherwise, I can't throw it to you, or otherwise, it's going to get picked off. It's like, no, we know DJ Moore could probably win that one-on-one battle. Keenan Allen's really good route running. He'll probably win his battle. And, I understand what you're saying, that Caleb is at blame for his stuff. But come on, man. That O-line is atrocious. Like, you're saying.
Last week it was. Last against the Patriots, I told you guys, think on the text thread like 2 days before. You remember I said, does anybody want to play offensive tackle for the Bears this week? Because they literally had nobody. I mean, all their offensive tackles were gone, and they basically just picked up everybody off the street. And then Nate Davis. They've been giving him healthy scratches all year long because he's lazy. He's a lazy offensive guard, and that was one big sign from like 2 years ago. And so they basically gave him the starting spot, right? The morning of game day, he tells the training staff, "I'm hurt. I can't play." He basically
collected a check.
He did that. No, he did that because he knows Chicago needs him, and he basically just slapped them in the face because what the Bears have done to him. But I mean, he deserves it though, because he hasn't been practicing for 2 years now. I mean, he's always healthy scratch. Every single practice is like they're not practice or questionable for a game. Like, is this guy ever gonna freaking play?
So okay, because it's part of the topic today, right? It's essentially offensive coordinator Shane Waldron was fired today after 3 straight losses. What was it? 23 consecutive drives, no touchdowns whatsoever for the Chicago Bears with this offense, that's regressed heavily. Give me a percentage, like a pie chart of who's to blame for everything. How much is Caleb to blame for? How much is the O-line? How much is the weapons, like the receivers, DJ Moore, because his attitude's kind of been wonky. A lot of people question it. How much percentage is Matt Eberflus? Give me your percentage of at fault. Because I'm not going to blame the defense. I know the defense is, you said like 4 or 5 people are hurt of the starters. So talk to me about the offense. Offensive-wise, who's to blame for all this stuff? Don't give me 100% Caleb, because that's not true.
I'll say 40-60. Honestly, because there is plays where I'll give you an example where
no blame to Shane, no blame to Eberflus, nothing.
No, I'm talking about Shane.
Oh, but I'm asking you from like Caleb, O-line, Shane, Matt. Give me weapons. Give me a percentage for each of them that equals to 100.
I don't think anybody from the receiver course to blame at all, because
DJ Moore's been slacking off. Okay,
no, I do not think that. With Matt Eberflus, I'll say 25% of it is his fault for having Shane for that long. And if you go back to the offseason, there's a podcast from Chicago and some reporters that had some of the Seahawks players in the offseason
rejoice, but then he's gone.
Yeah, and so they had him, and they were talking about so what should we expect about our new guy? And then I think it was what's his name, JSN. He was like, "Is this thing live?" I mean, I watched that one live too, and I was like, "Dude, it's already a bad sign, right?" But and then I would say the rest of it would have to be a mixture of Shane, Caleb, and the offensive line. Like I said, I don't think the offensive line is that as terrible as what the media is making it seem, because that's the same damn offensive line that was pretty much last year, and that same offensive line led the league in I think they were top 2 in rushing yards. So
aren't you missing your star right tackle though?
right now, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
as far as last week, I said last week that like anybody could have played on the offensive side. But the one key like play, it wasn't even the miss to DJ Moore on the out route, was that it was a 2 by, I think it was like they shifted into trips, so that was like a screenplay, right,
Okay.
to DJ Moore, and DJ Moore gets hit for like a loss of 5. It was a running play, and Caleb checked into it. Caleb checked into that screenplay, and I was like, oh my god. And I was dude, like I said, we watch every single damn snap, and I was watching it with my family here. I was like, dude, this guy just checked into that damn screen. And Keenan Allen didn't even know who to block, because it was whoever, I think it was Jack. Who's y'all's corner, that slot corner you guys have?
Good fucking hell.
Well, anyways,
I got Marcus Jones. That might be the.
He almost picked it off because he was coming in a blitz. But like Keenan Allen's like, okay, who do I block then? Because all 3 of them were coming. It was 3 on with 2 blockers. Like it was terrible. And then the icing on the cake was just Keenan Allen picks DJ Moore's cornerback, and he was open for a first down, and he throws it at his feet. I'm like, fuck, man, for God's sake.
We got our boy, the hardworking man, People's Debates, Milton. He says, in my opinion, Waldron was 50%, O-line 20, Caleb 20, Eberflus 10.
I would put a little bit more on Eberflus for letting it get to this point, because, like I said, man, nothing looked good. Caleb is not good on timing. It's the same shit like how he was in college. He can't time the receivers coming out their break.
I mean, I've been saying for weeks, like even since week 2 when we watched the game together, Texans and Bears, Alex, I thought Waldron was horrible. He was bad. It was awful to watch. And then the simplicity of the 3-game stretch that Caleb played good, like that's what we needed to see. And I get it. Those teams were easier teams to beat up, right? They weren't like high level teams or anything like that. They were 1-win teams, no-win teams, whatever. Jeff, looking at this game, looking at this rookie, how are you feeling, man, about Caleb Williams? Because he's getting buried alive right now, right? Everyone's saying he's the worst quarterback of the first round this year, behind Drake, behind Jaden, of course, and behind Bo. And some people are ready to. I mean, apparently, there's a report that said from a radio host. It wasn't ESPN per se. It was a radio host. He said that the Chicago Bears vets want the backup quarterback to take the role for a bit. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Bears. I don't think they have another option. Who is their backup?
Tyson Bagent. He's really good.
He's the dude that went like 2-2 last year when Justin was down.
His dad was like the world champion of arm wrestling.
Yeah, so just Caleb did look good for those. In my opinion, the schedule was a little softer in the early going. They all knew the schedule was going to get heavy-handed at the end of the schedule, and even New England, right? They look like a easy team, and now they're playing good ball, right? They're still on the low rung, but they're a tough opponent, right? They're going to play good defense. They're playing well, and it just sucks. Like some quarterbacks are ready to go right off the bat. Caleb might have been good for Caleb to take a year under the wing of a veteran quarterback and learn a little bit. It just depends on the situation, especially like even New England, right, with Drake, like they didn't throw him in the fire right away, right? He at least got to sit back and learn a little bit before Brissett got hurt, right? And then he was thrown to the fire, and they were just a little bit more. Drake is getting a little bit more time with it. I just think it's a bad. I'm not giving up on Caleb, right? Like it's his first year, it's gonna be bad. O-line's not doing too well. I don't think it's like it just sucks, right? Like he's a bust or whatever. Nah, it's just some of this shit takes time, right? I talk about it with the Spurs all the time. Like everybody wants the Spurs to be championship good right away. It's a process. It takes time. And with these rookie quarterbacks, it's gonna take time, you know. And I'm not giving up on Caleb. It's just a shitty situation.
Alex, you as a Bears fan, right? We know that Rome fell to y'all because some teams didn't end up picking them up. But do you feel like maybe they should have gone for a tackle at that point? I know originally you would have rather had a tackle, keep Fields, and then whatever everything else. But you got Caleb. Do you feel the Rome draft pick was a mistake overall rather than getting a tackle or a guard?
No, because at that point Joe Alt was already out. I mean, the other guards and other tackles right now are struggling, and I didn't think anybody else but Joe Alt was going to be a good offensive offensive lineman coming out of the draft, and right now it shows. Right, the guy from the Jets. I mean, he's struggling pretty bad. The guy out of Penn, and
I don't think he was starting until someone got hurt, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
But it's crazy though. I mean, if you're that high of a pick as an offensive tackle, offensive lineman, like you're pretty much
Guaranteed a starting
guaranteed a
role.
starting spot. So that already tells you like he's already kind of like behind the eight ball. And you kind of saw it though whenever he was in college. I don't feel like it was a bad pick getting Rome. I wanted, like you said, I wanted them to get an offensive tackle and another receiver to go with DJ Moore. They ended up getting Keenan Allen. Even whenever they got Keenan Allen, I still said that's still a pretty good pick because Keenan Allen's pretty much a rental right now. And whoever it is that the receiver they get, they can learn behind both DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. And then maybe within a couple of years, 1 or 2 years, he'll take the spot. But yeah, I still like the pick.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it is what it is right now. I mean, the Bears are struggling. They have a tough schedule the rest of the way. It's not going to be light. It's not going to be easy. Jeff, Bears make the playoffs, so they miss it at this point.
I think the trajectory that they're going after their bye week, they are missing it.
Alex?
Yeah, right now it'll be kind of hard to say they're going to make it. I feel like they'll miss it by a game or so.
All right. So Milton says, I don't believe the report on team saying but who knows? And then he also says Fuanga would have been a solid pick for y'all, the guy from New Orleans. So we'll see. I mean, as is right now, I know, Alex, you don't agree that it should be in this position, but I do think Matt Eberflus, his job is on the line. If they don't make the playoffs this year, he is done.
I think that firing should already tell you how he's thinking. They never let go of a play calling like this. Well, as far as Matt Eberflus, right?
Then he let go of the defensive coordinator because of FBI rating. I'm talking
about
play caller. Yeah, play caller. Yeah.
The one thing I like about it is that I know Thomas Brown was the offensive coordinator of one of the worst teams, but that team was hard garbage. And the one thing I liked, I mean, I've as soon as that report came out, I started looking at the film, what kind of offense they were trying to run. They're still trying to run the Sean McVay offense. You can see a lot of motions, a lot more run heavy. You couldn't really do that with the Panthers because that team. I mean, they literally have nobody on that team.
Chuba Hubbard's gonna be a Panther legend. Watch it.
So that's one thing. Hopefully, you're probably not gonna see a lot, but I'm hoping towards the end of the year you start seeing more of the under center and seeing a lot of more ghost motions and like the Rams do.
All right. So I did want to go into the college football rankings. I don't know if they're fully out yet right now. I'm trying to double check and make sure, but Jeff, how much of the college football have you been able to watch this weekend?
I got to this weekend. I didn't get to watch too much college football. I kept up with it. I thought you were going to ask us what the thing of the week was this week, and man, Miami losing to Georgia Tech was horrible. They lost to them last year. It's just weird how they have their number. That was like the big game over the week. Was there any more upset? I think there was one more upset. I just can't remember who right now.
Georgia lost. Georgia lost
Georgia lost.
to who the hell did they lose, Alex, to?
Didn't they lose to Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. Yeah,
Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
what it was. That's huge
Yeah.
for Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying it's going to be hard because that's Georgia's second loss, right? It's going to be hard for them to make it in. So yeah, I know the standings, now the CFP's out, right? And but now it's 12 teams. But yeah, there's still a lot more to go. And then it's weird, like now that I think since there's that little bit more room of, it used to be able not to lose a game, right? To make the playoff. And now there's a little wiggle room, and now there's a lot more upsets, and I know everything's changing with the NIL and everything. But it's just crazy to me that these teams that never lose one game are now losing 2 games, and it's insane. But even Miami, right? They were number 4. It seems like every time they crawl their way into the top 4, they lose a damn easy one.
A pivotal matchup, yeah.
Yeah, they always do it. And this one definitely. But yeah, it was just they have been flirting with disaster. I think they've been trailing by like 14 or 20 for like 4 games before. And this time they just weren't able to pull it out. And but they just got to win the ACC. I think SMU right now is number 1, but they just got to take down that ACC and they'll still be in the playoff.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you too. I was like, with the Miami team, all year round, I've been saying like I don't trust this team because they've had a lot of close games and they've been able to sneak it through. And
look, man, they're just this year's Florida State. Okay, that's all it is.
They just don't have their D's horrible. Their D is terrible. They were giving up 3rd and 18s to Georgia Tech, and there's a freshman QB that's playing because all their other QBs are hurt. I mean, their defense isn't there. They just have a high-powered offense.
So right now, I do believe this is updated because they're supposed to come out today. So 12 is Georgia.
Wow.
So they went from like 2 or 3 to 12. Ole Miss is now above them at 11.
Damn.
Alabama sneaks in at 10. Miami fell down to 9.
Wow.
Notre Dame is at 8. Tennessee at 7. BYU at 6. Indiana at 5. Penn State 4. Texas 3. Ohio State 2. And then Oregon 1.
Man.
One team I don't want to see is Notre Dame. They always fucking make it to like the big stage and they go. I don't know what it is. They just fucking lay an egg.
SMU's QB is garbage. Says Cody. What's up, brother?
And then I think Tennessee and Georgia. I think Georgia plays at Tennessee this weekend, right? And I think according now they're a must win. Now they can't lose. They're done.
No, unless you lost and they got knocked back all the way to 22, essentially out the running.
What about BYU?
BYU is right now at 6.
Did you guys watch the game?
I did not. I didn't watch it.
The BYU games always come on like right before I'm about to go to sleep because they fucking
because they're all the way to fucking West Coast time.
Yeah. But like the last minute of the game, I was about to go to sleep and then like all you see was flags. Like they were basically getting bailed out. I was like, damn, this is Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes all over again. But it was kind of crazy though. I mean, the Utah coach, he was getting pretty pissed, and I know he had a lot of words for the refs, but yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy game.
Yeah, the AD even made a statement after the game, saying that it was stolen from them and everything. That Utah AD.
It really was.
He was pissed at press conference, bro. Like, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes that shit just happens, and it's not anyone's real fault. It's just I mean, there's people that fault, right? People are, there's gonna be a lot of conspiracy theories and all that stuff. Yeah, Georgia and Tennessee is the only ranked rank versus rank matchup, so that will definitely. Tennessee, though, if they lose, they'll probably get knocked out the top 12 too right now. So
yeah, so that's a big one.
A&M, dude, A&M needs to go on a run. These last 3, their last game is against Texas.
You know what? I'm calling it right now. Bullshit or not, Kansas will upset BYU.
You think so?
You know, something enthusiastic about it.
I think A&M upsets Texas.
A&M's not playing Texas yet.
No.
No, the last week. He's talking about the last week. I have that feeling too. It just seems like that kind of year.
I mean, Texas tends to play like to the opponent's level or worse, and it's just like, yeah, that's why even when OU not being great, I got worried. But then they just demolished them. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe some Archie Manning time, baby.
Sometimes it's like that, and sometimes they're just so bad. Like FSU and Miami's always usually good, but FSU's so bad it wasn't a game this year. Or OU wasn't a game this year because they're just that bad. They're horrible.
Yeah. So the Giants have the number one pick betting odds right now, right? They suck. They're the worst team. They lost to Carolina. Who should be the new quarterback coming out of college? Number one draft pick, Alex. Who should it be? It ain't gonna be Daniel Jones, thank God. Send him to.
I like Gabriel from Oregon.
But you don't. But he's not being really talked about being that high of a pick, is he?
No.
And is Daniel Jones' contract up this year or no?
So he'd still have 2 more years left, but they don't owe him any guarantees after this year.
Really?
So they might bench him early, Jeff, because if he gets hurt, then next year's contract is guaranteed.
Ooh.
So you might really see him getting benched real soon.
Yeah.
So kind of similar to the Russell Wilson thing. That's why Denver ended up benching him eventually. But
I would not fucking get Carson Beck in the first round. That dude's a day 4, day 5. I shit you not. Like, that dude is terrible.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think he'll be NFL good, to be quite honest with you. I agree with you there. But there's a lot of talks right now that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the number 1 overall pick because of, his ability. And I mean, his dad.
What about character? What about character issues? I know a lot of fucking people that have dropped because character issues.
Look, bro. I mean, if that was true, then Caleb wouldn't have got number 1. From alleged character for his alleged character, question marks. But New York media market's big. They got Eli once upon a time. Maybe Shedeur will be okay wanting to go over there. I remember Dion once said a few months ago saying, "I know where my boy's going to go. Yeah, I'll decide where my boy's going to go." I'm like, how are you going to decide that? Like how are you going to? I mean, if Dion's going to try to pull a Eli, we'll see what the Mannings can do, but I don't know. And then I think Travis Hunter is projected to go to the Patriots if they land 3 or whatever, which I'm like, I don't think that'll fit well. Not his personality. I don't know.
As a defender, as a receiver.
He wants to play both.
Wow.
I don't know if the Patriots will do that. I don't think so. I don't think Gerard Mayo's system would do that. I think that Dallas might actually go and get him because they are falling into the
draft. There you go. You got a receiver and a cornerback, right?
Yeah, there. you got 2 in 1 play, bro. He's gonna be the first player non-QB to be like, "Hey, man, I'm playing 2 positions, $70 million a year."
Holy shit!
Nah, but I do think, I do think that Cam Ward's gonna be the top pick. It's him or
he's good.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go with him.
Right now, standings wise, which is how I'm following this thing, I'm not sure how accurate it is. Oh, actually, Jacksonville would be the number 1 overall pick. They should get Travis Hunter. It's Florida. It's a bad organization. So let them go crazy. It doesn't matter. It's called, let them be all cuckoo. And then, then Cam Ward can go too. Okay, would you rather see Cam Ward in New York or would you rather see Cam Ward in Vegas?
Damn.
Because
none of them.
Personally, I would rather have him in Vegas.
I mean, obviously, Alex, none of them. But I mean, come on, they're the bottom teams.
I think in Vegas, that'd be nice. Even though it's a horrible organization.
Yeah, man. I don't know who would be their coach next year.
Look, Alex, I'm gonna tell you right now. I wouldn't want to be any of the top 6 or top 7 picks. Jacksonville, New York, Vegas, Tennessee, Cleveland, Carolina, New Orleans, New England, then the Jets, then Dallas. Like those first 7 or 8 college players are like, I mean, with at least New England, they might have found their quarterback, so maybe it might bring more intrigue, but it's too soon yet, right? Like free agents aren't going to be wanting to go over there just yet. Everywhere else I just mentioned before that, ew, wakalas, At that point, you're just hoping the nicer looking city gets you, the one that has a less amount of tax, income tax and all that shit. So we'll see. All right, Jeff, you mentioned it earlier. You brought up how you were happy with Miami losing. Was that so? That's your sports. That's it, your sports take of the week. Like that's what brought you joy.
Yeah, well, no, it didn't bring me joy. It was just like, I guess, like the news of the week or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it was just like, damn. You know what I mean? That's, I follow a show that covers them, and yeah, it was just like the upset of the week. It was just like no way. You know what I mean? I wasn't happy about it. I'm rooting for Miami. I don't know why I like UM. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they're gonna win the Natty because their defense is atrocious, but like their offense is fun to watch. They like you can never count them out. And it would be cool to see them just being high scoring in the playoff. I think they're going to be there, right? They're going to be in the playoff, right? So yeah, I think over this past weekend, there's a couple good things, but that was like definitely stood out to me.
Yeah, Alex, what about you? What's a good play, a good team win, or whatever sports related that you saw this weekend that got your blood pumping?
The Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Jeff alluded to earlier about their offense. Their offense is clicking, dude, and I know their defense doesn't have those big key turnovers that you would want on a high-powered defense, but the way they run the rock, I think James Conner is so underrated as a running back. I think he leads the league in broken tackles or yards after contact. Dude, that dude's a unit. And then I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, they're not feeding Marvin Harrison. They honestly don't even have to. Like if you watch the game, like
the ball's being spread out everywhere.
Yeah, Kyler. I think Kyler, the game he didn't he only throw for like 100 under 200 yards. I think
it's like something like 202. Let me see. I'll double check right now for you.
But yeah, I mean he doesn't have to do a lot, and even if he does, like if the offense comes standing, he could run the rock. He's that good of an athlete. And
no, you're wrong. 266. He threw a good amount.
Well, was it against Chicago that he threw under like 2 something?
I mean, yeah, nobody has to throw that much against Chicago. But yes.
But yeah, they said the offense just looks good, and I think just playing just the clock management could help out the defense even more.
154 against Chicago.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll tell you this, and I put him on the cover for a reason. I'm impressed with him. He's definitely playing his role a lot better, Alex. I would say for the first time in his career, NFL career. And I know some people will be like, "Oh, well, what about that season? They started like undefeated until they met Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay." Even then, I thought that team was wonky. I thought it was a fluke, and it turned out to be true. This year, playing a lot smoother, playing a lot better, staying in the pocket. Yes, he has the option to run 20 yards back and then 40 forward. But, we're giving a lot of love to Lamar because of his pocket passing and his scrambling and his, passing on the move. Give it up to Kyler because he's doing the same thing over there. It's just not being it's not just as impactful as Lamar, but it's improvement, especially when you feel like, we're mentioning that Caleb and a lot of other guys hold on to the ball too long. I feel like sometimes Kyler did that a lot, and this year he's trusting his guys to really, McBride, Harrison, Dortch, all these other guys, he's trusting his team to do good. So, and it's proven they're the leading team in the NFC West. So, yeah, they're sitting comfortably. I mean, they got San Francisco right on their tail, but I like them right now. They're playing really good. I'm impressed.
And the Steelers is probably another team that people need to talk about.
Again, another team that's on the cover. Jeff, how do you feel about the Steelers? They 7-2 with that Russell Wilson man. I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
Me and you were definitely dragging Russell Wilson to the ground. He was done in our eyes, and then this motherfucker is going off.
Yeah, I mean, he did look terrible last year, but if you remember when before he even got traded to Steelers, they were like, where's Russell's going to go? And there was like 3 teams. I was like, man, Pittsburgh's the best fit for him. You know what I mean? They play D. You know what I mean? They don't do too much on offense. Like, they're well coached. And then, of course, he went there. It was the smartest choice, right? And he did surprise me. He has surprised me the past couple of weeks. There was one play, I guess the pass to Williams. It looked like he was just going to get sacked, and he was throwing the ball away, and it was a fucking dime to Williams in the end zone. Like, he is surprising me. I didn't think he had that left in the tank. I mean, yeah, like, he's just throwing balls where they need to be. He always been very smart, but it seemed like, even though he was very smart, that the talent had left him, right? He wasn't able to, like, run around the pocket. He's not running around the pocket no more. He's like throwing in the pocket, So I think his game has evolved, and I don't know how long he can do this for. I mean, of course, this season, but man, he is surprisring for sure. I did not think it was going to look like that.
And mind you, he didn't throw for much this weekend. He threw for 195. Mike Will had one target, and it was that 32-yard touchdown pass, game-winning pass. Alex, okay, I know you believe that they are the biggest threat maybe to the Chiefs right now in the playoffs and everything. They're probably the most well-rounded team in the AFC other than KC themselves. What percentage of a chance you really got them giving to maybe dethrone them from the AFC title?
I give them, what's the highest that I could give them?
Wow, 1 out of 10. Give them whatever you want to give them.
I think there's a big chance that they could beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Everything that they could do is pretty much Kansas City's weakness. All around, and honestly, you know how they say the old saying goes, "We got two. When you have two quarterbacks, you don't have none." I don't believe that with this team.
You mentioned it last week.
Yeah, both teams. I mean, both quarterbacks. If you plug them in, man, the offense looks like the offense changes with them significantly. There's more RPOs with Justin, and then when Caleb with Russell, he's under center more, and he's able to audible more. And like Jeff said, he's smart. And I don't think it's the end of Justin at all. I think Mike Tomlin still has some wrinkles that he will implement, maybe in the playoffs when they meet Kansas City, and you have
if they do.
Yeah. So like I don't know. I mean, that's a team you don't want to play in the playoffs. I guarantee it.
Well, Cody has a different opinion of you. 1 out of 10. He doesn't think they're a threat at all.
He hasn't had high hopes on Pittsburgh at all.
I mean, going into the season, neither did I. To be fair, I did say under 500 once again, and I'm wrong as hell. So it is what it is. Shit, Mike Tomlin, gonna be one of them coaches, right? But
and look, I think Milton has said their secondary is still iffy. We've seen a team a couple years ago that had a bad secondary that made it all the way to the Super Bowl because of their defensive line. That was the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, Darius Slay was probably the best secondary, best player on the secondary. Just like right now, Fitzpatrick's probably the best. Not Fitzpatrick. I mean,
no, you got it right. Nico Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick's probably the best DB on that team. But I was just talking to. I told you guys I work at a prison, at one of the prisons here in Austin, and one of the guards is a big Steelers fan. And he told me, he's like, "You guys ready to jump ship?" I'm like, "Nah." But I was talking about his Steelers. I'm like, man, I understand a lot of people don't think that their secondary is all that. But whenever you have all pros on the defensive line, it makes the secondary look like all pros, just like how the Eagles were that year. And I think they have a legitimate shot to make it to the big game.
Cody says, I said Pitt could keep the streak alive, just not playoff win hopes. I mean, look, Cody, I would say this. I think that it's crazy because there's not many teams that can get a win right now, and they are doing a hell of a job right now getting those wins. And look, they play the Ravens this week. They play the Browns after and the Bengals. They might be without Alex Highsmith for a while. I think he's out for the next 3 weeks. But, they might have a tough road, 6 division games in 8 weeks, but I don't know, man. If they can pull off more wins and they can get like that 12-13 win mark, I don't know if I'm KC, you're right. Maybe I don't want to play with them, man. I don't know if I want that matchup, especially the first round.
Oh hell no, you don't want to play them.
Yeah, so
well, that's the thing, right? Like that's what I was gonna say. It's if Pittsburgh can make it to KC, right? Because KC should get the bye, right? And if they play a high-scoring team like, say, Cincinnati, I do think Cincinnati can score more than Pittsburgh can, going against each other. That's the thing, right? Like Pittsburgh is good, but they're limited on the offense, right? And if they can make it to play KC, in the divisional or in the AFC, I think they do match up good against them just because of their D.
We could have a real scenario if KC and Pitt play together, right? Let's hypothetically they do play. There is a scenario, and mind you, the offense has been better, a lot better, 10 points better with Russ. There could be a scenario where Russ is struggling and they have to insert Fields, and we can see a Hurts to a situation, and we can see some a different dynamic go. But we'll see. I mean, this week, like I said, we get Steelers and Ravens. That's the Steelers' first matchup. And it's tough because with Alex Highsmith on the field, I would say the Ravens will struggle a little more to score. But obviously, TJ Watt's still on that field. He's still going to be fucking monster. And so is with Cam Hayward. But, man, the Ravens worry me so much, man. They give up so many damn points in the fourth quarter. And I think they're the 31st ranked team in passing overall. It's just like, bro, like I love the Ravens. I love Lamar. I think I love the Ravens because of Lamar, and their legends, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
But man, I know y'all. Oh, basically, almost all of y'all had Ravens winning the Super Bowl this year. Mm-hmm. Do we still feel like that, guys? I mean, I know they're playing dynamic football right now offensively, but do we still feel like that?
Go ahead.
I think Kansas. It's weird. I feel like Kansas City could beat them. I mean, I feel like they could beat Kansas City, but they can't beat Pittsburgh. Does that make sense?
Divisional matchup. I can see why you say that, but okay. So why do you think they could beat KC more than they could beat Pittsburgh?
Because of their offense. I think their offense. The way they're built, their offense is better to attack KC, and their offense is not built to beat the Steelers.
See, I got an opposite, but I think they can beat Pittsburgh, and I just think KC. I mean, it's going to be close, just like that first game of the season. But I think with Ravens D not being too great, I think that's where KC takes advantage of them, right?
If you had last year's Ravens defense with this year's Raven offense, I think it'd be an unstoppable force. Obviously, they didn't have the finances to do it, because if you were able to keep all that together, that would have been great. But it's not plausible now. Man, at this point, I kind of agree with Alex. I feel like Steelers is probably the best bet. And I know Cody says Ravens the only shot to stop KC in his opinion. But it's like, dude, that defense gives us so much. Like, they really should have lost to the Bengals last Thursday. They really should have because of all the things they gave up. Freaking Jamar Chase went, for 266, 267?
Yeah, without Higgins.
Yeah, no Higgins on the field. And he got 3 touchdowns. They should have game planned him for a 2-point conversion, but that's a different story.
Jose, you probably know this. What's the stat between Mike Tomlin versus Lamar Jackson, or even Mike Tomlin against
Lamar versus the Steelers? It's like 1-7. It's not good. He's got 1 win, and I think that was maybe his second year when he won the unanimous MVP. Of course, most of the time, the reason it's also he's had less chances to do it. He got injured. He had 2 season-ending injuries, and then last year, Week 18. He didn't even play right. So it's like, but still, like, Tomlin knows how to game plan for these kind of guys. And you kind of look at like how it kind of like a preview. We got it with Washington. Jaden Daniels, another mobile quarterback. You got, he didn't throw for any touchdowns. He didn't run in for any touchdowns. That was huge for the Steelers, because if you can keep, Jaden down, you kind of keep his, aggression down as well, even though the running backs are doing all the scoring, right, and all that stuff. And then there was that muff punt, which is silly.
There was a couple things in that game I didn't agree with. I thought that spot at the end was horrible. I thought it was right on the line, and they was a yard short. And then earlier, I forgot what game it was, where the running back gave a face mask. I think it was my running back. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Brandon Allen. Pickens fucking did a crazy ass face mask right in front of the ref. and they don't call it, and that's a 15-yard penalty. And I think even with that was that one drive to get them going. If they call that penalty, I don't think Steelers win that game.
Hey, brother, Joe Burrow and the rest of the Bengals are with you about face mask shit, but
Oh yeah, but that's what I wanted to say real quick. We moved off that. We've been switching topics. We were talking about MVP, right? After that Lamar game and Jared Goff. But damn, I think, and then I was like, man, there's not another candidate. But it looks like the only other candidate is fucking Joe Burrow. I think his stats are fucking insane. If they're winning more, I think he would be right there head to head. But we'll see how the rest of that they have been going crazy. I think Joe Burrow is going to be in the talks at the end. I think Lamar gets it, but I think Joe Burrow will be in the talks at the end.
They'll probably be like the final 3 finalists and all that stuff. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And someone commented on our awards video, right? So our midseason awards video. Someone said, "Why is Trey Hendrickson not up here?" Because, brother, at the end of the day, too, a lot of these guys that get the awards are also on winning teams. And the reason why Joe Burrow's name didn't come up for most of us, or any of us really, and Trey Hendrickson didn't come up, is because they're not winning games. 4-6 right now. Tough road, second half of the season too. I think they still got the Steelers twice, right? I mean, so and they got the Steelers in a few weeks already. So we'll see. I mean, I would love to see the Bengals in the playoffs. And honestly, the way the AFC, the 7th seed is up for grabs.
Right now it is.
Yeah, because Denver lost back-to-back games, so now the 7th seed's up for grabs. Literally, fucking Cincinnati's one win from being 7th seed, and vice versa, vice versa, all that shit. So that's why your Jets are still fucking in it, because they're only 2 games behind.
I heard they're only 2. That's horrible. 3 wins. They're 2 games behind. Like, how is that possible?
Hey, right there with you, Papa. I'm 2 games behind too.
It's just insane. And I still don't think Jets are going to make it, but like like what's going on? It's like all the good teams are winning, and yeah, like they said there were so many 2-win teams. Like I don't even know how that math plays out. Like how are there that many 2-win teams?
Because
they're in 9th place right now. The Bears are in 9th place. They win next week, and they knock out the Packers, and I think who's in front of them?
So the NFC is a lot better, a little bit, right? Because they're all 6 wins and up. And then Arizona, they don't have as many wins as the other division leaders, but the top 4 divisions, they're they're in no matter what, so they're up there. So, I mean, it is. It's weird
how the AFC it's top heavy, right? There's a couple good teams, and then the rest are horrible.
What time I get out today, Joe? Like 4.
Is he asking about work or this pod?
I'm assuming work because he's a mailman with me.
Okay, that's all random.
Cody's like, really? The only thing to stop KC is injuries, bro. They're undefeated even with injuries.
No,
Joe says he's finally going home, motherfucker. Put in that 8-hour disability.
That's why he has to do that.
You just want that overtime, bro. You just want that overtime. Get the hell out of here.
But but KC, right? They're 8-0, but yeah, of course, we all think they're beatable, right? Because they're always it's just it's
they
should
have
weird,
lost this
right?
week, really. If they don't fuck up the freaking blocking, they should have lost this week to Denver.
Yeah, I mean they should have lost to Denver. They're not, even though they're 8-0. I don't think they're like the clear favorite. I don't have and the same thing happened last year, and they click for the playoffs and they go on a run. But it's always a different situation, right? Their offense, now they have Worthy and Hopkins, and we'll see how that works. Worthy hasn't really been all that, right? He's just like the home run guy. I think Baltimore can beat KC. I think the Steelers have a chance to beat KC. I think they're beatable. Buffalo even looks good, So.
Whoa! We know how Buffalo is in the postseason. We can't talk about them yet.
No, I know.
Hold on. Last year's playoff bracket, we all kind of knew hey, KC easiest road right now will probably be to play the Miami Dolphins, because I think at that time Miami was already going downhill, right?
They're
hurt. They're hurt.
Yeah, and they could play cold.
Okay, so my question is, what team in the AFC bracket right now looks like a weak link? I think, to tell you the truth, I think all the teams right now are a team that could beat Kansas City.
Okay,
all the way down, all playoff teams.
I think so. The only maybe team is probably the Houston Texans because of the way they're playing, but I still feel like they got a shot to beat them.
Yeah, who else is on that list?
So I would agree the Texans if they're unhealthy and they don't shape up their shit. Right? Because offensively, I think they could make a little threat, but we know that how they've been struggling against top defenses.
Yeah,
So
they've been struggling.
that's my concern. I think after that, as far as low chances of beating them, I would say the Chargers. And I know Jim Harbaugh's been doing great. It's impressive as hell what they've done, 6-3 record. But I don't know if they have enough firepower, which I know when you have a good defense, right? Denver and Chargers kind of have shown against KC. You don't really need that much firepower, but I don't think they have enough to be like, whoa, crazy, right? Then after that, I would say Denver. And then from there, I would say, Matt Milano's coming back. I didn't know that. I thought he was out for the season. Matt Milano's coming back, so that changes a few things. So actually, then I'll still say Buffalo, then Baltimore, and then Pittsburgh has the best chances of throwing KC.
Yeah, if it wasn't like they need that bye this year for sure to knock out some of those, juggernauts. You know what I mean? Even I do have respect for the Chargers, right? Like, they can run the ball. That's a recipe to fucking win a game. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like they look like I don't know what they got a 2-game lead for that bye or what.
1.5 right now. Just
1.5
ahead of Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo, so that's
KC needs that bye because I guess, like you said, like
KC
a lot of
needs
these teams are not the same. They're not the teams from last year. Like, to tell you, I think they had an easy ass road, honestly.
because it was Miami, Buffalo, and then Baltimore, right?
Okay, but that's not easy. That's not.
Yeah,
They were all on the road.
Buffalo and Baltimore were tough.
The last two were on the road too. They were not.
But
easy.
like
they should.
things fell into place where they needed to at the right time. That's what I'm trying to say.
The kicker missed.
Did Diggs drop? Was that when Diggs dropped that ball?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like things fell at the right time.
But that's on the opponents falling for shit, trying to be cute, trying to be different. If Tyler Bass gets that kick in, it's a no hitter. But what does Buffalo do to address that? Nothing. They keep the same guy. Baltimore, they have a great defense that shut out the Chiefs in the second half, but they gave all that up so they can bring Derrick Henry. And I mean, I'm not saying that his contract was so big that you had to let go of Patrick Queen, and obviously your defensive coordinator went on to be a head coach. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like other than Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's weakness is their offense, and that's what Jeff said earlier. Mm-hmm. It's that. Can I trust Russell Wilson to get the ball down to Mike, Will, and Pickens easily? This KC defense is looking good. Now, I know they haven't been perfect the last couple of weeks. I know Marco said that when he went to Tampa, he felt Chris Jones was slacking. You can tell last week, though, they kind of get it back together. But, Bo Nix threw some nice passes according to Sutton. But we'll see, man. I mean, it's a tough road. It's not easy. The 7th seed's still up for grabs, so Denver, get your shit together. Otherwise, you're going to make Trey cry. As far as the NFC, I know you're not impressed with them that much, Alex, but they are the 2nd seed. Philadelphia is right there. And sadly, the Lions show that they might still have a Jared Goff problem, that if he starts playing wonky, if he gets the pressure into his face, might choke that, NFC lead. Jeff, I'll start with you, Jeff. How are you feeling about Philly and the top teams in the NFC?
So Detroit, I think that was a little bit of a trap game, right? Houston's been struggling, but they're on a 3-game losing streak, and they really wanted that win, And fuck, they should have got it, right? Like fuck, their defense played good, And that some teams just played more desperate than other teams, right? Like Detroit probably just thought, not that they had it easy, but just weren't playing hard, right? Like it's all who's more desperate, who needs to win more. And in that game, Houston needed to win more, right? And Detroit still pulled it out. So I'm not worried about Detroit. I think they're going to be up there. Who was the next one? Philly. I can't believe this fucking Philly-Washington game is on Thursday Night Football. Divisional games should not be on fucking Thursday Night Football, even though last week was, it was a good one. But it just sucks.
If you really think about it, Jeff, most of Thursday Night Football is just division games.
It's horrible. I hate it. I think it's because there's so many crap games on there. They probably cried and was like, all right, we'll start getting division games. But anyways, I would like to see this game with a full week's rest for both teams. But Philly, like we've been talking about, people were calling for whatever his name is to get fired, and fuck, they only got 2 losses. I know they were winning ugly, and that's the thing about Philly though. I think they know what they are, they know what they do, and they just do it right, and it's nothing spectacular. Barkley's the only spectacular thing on there. Everything else is that tush push. Like it's just
AJ Brown, come on,
AJ
man.
Brown,
AJ
yeah,
Brown,
AJ Brown, yeah. But it's just it's nothing sexy, right? They're like they're like the defensive team in the NFC. They're I still don't think like we talked about earlier. They're that team like we talked about that just needs to get healthy in the playoff, be in the playoffs and be healthy, right? Because they've been on a lot of long runs, and the past couple of years, I think 2 years, they made it to the playoffs, but they're already like done, right? With their long runs, they've just been injured, so they just need to be in the playoffs healthy, and I think they got a chance. Who else is out there? Philly, Washington. Washington. Man, Jaden Daniels continues to impress. Look at that. I mean, they lost by 1 point to Pittsburgh. I think that fumble on the 3-yard line kind of fucked Washington too, right? Because then it's a 3-and-out, you're punting, and then they score, and now you're out of time. Like, I would rather them just scored right there than getting that damn fumble. And if Zach Ertz can catch a fucking goddamn ball, holy fuck.
He caught it, but
yeah,
he was on his D's 1 yard short.
Yeah, but there was one before that. I think it was on that 3-1 yard, or there was another one where, dude, it was like he was wide open for a big old first down, and it just popped out of his hands. I don't know if y'all saw it. But anyways, I was disappointed in Zach Ertz. But yeah, like I think Jaden Daniels has been showing in that team. I guess Dan Quinn, I don't know what it is, but I think they're a team that can make a run too. Like they like even Pittsburgh did, like they scored 26 on them, and they might have scored a little bit more. Like they can score and they play good D. So I believe in Washington as well. Those 3 teams, and who's after that?
You can talk about Atlanta, Green Bay, Minnesota, Arizona. We already talked about heavily.
Yeah, see all those other like them. I don't really believe in any of them.
Okay.
Minnesota. I believe that they're gonna like make the playoffs, of course. But like, do they have it? Like Sam Darnold loves to throw red zone picks, right? Like that's. He's been doing it week after week.
I don't know who I should have traded for from you, by the way. I was like,
yeah,
fucking
dude. Even Kirk Cousins, like I dropped Kirk Cousins in 2 of my other leagues because it's like he'll have a good game and then he'll have 7 points. And that New Orleans game was tough, and I don't blame him for young Koo. What's his name? Young Koo missing all them damn field goals. But that ATL, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be a tough opponent. But man, I guess maybe could they make a run possibly? But I just think I don't know. To me, like they're always fine. I think they're always fine, but I think their D's is not good enough.
Alex, I almost sent you a trade request for Derrick Henry last night. Like send you my 2nd round pick for next year. Nice. I don't think you were gonna take it, so that's why I didn't send it.
And then Green Bay, I think Green Bay's limited. They seem to be hurt. Jordan Love's never healthy. Green Bay, again, they'll be a playoff team. Could they make a run? Probably, but I don't know. Something just to me is off in Green Bay. Just like I said, they're good, but I just don't think they're a Super Bowl team yet.
Alex, what about you, man? I'm done.
So the Jared Goff problem, I think they'll be all right as long as they don't play the teams south of them and in Chicago, because Jared Goff usually struggles against. I don't know what it is. He just struggles against them. But I think they'll be fine. With Philly, man, I still don't fucking believe in them. I think there's writing on the wall that people don't want us to address or see.
But they're making people believe, Alex. They're making people believe.
I still don't fucking believe in them. I get like, oh, how are they only have 2 losses and you still don't? Dude, there's so many. I see a lot of problems that other teams below them don't even have. Like Green Bay. I think Green Bay, if they were to play right now, I think they beat Philly. They are the team, like I said when I was talking about Kansas City, like they just catch teams at the right time. Right? They beat Green Bay early in the year. Right now, if they were to play, I guarantee Green Bay will beat Philly. Another team that they beat during the year, and what another team that was right below them. Who'd you mention? The
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
No, Atlanta beat them. Remember?
Oh,
There's
Atlanta won.
Yeah. They
remember
did.
Saquon dropped the pass.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like them, and if they were to play Arizona, I think they would lose to Arizona. I think the only team that would probably beat, I think that's in that that's in the playoff mix right now is the Minnesota Vikings. Out of all of them, I truly believe right now, like I said, Green Bay plays Philly tomorrow. Green Bay beats them with all the turnovers they create.
Their
What
only
do you
other
think about
loss
Washington?
Washington's another team that when me and my brother were talking about it, they are in a decline that nobody sees also because if you look at Clint's what's the name Cliff's
Kingsbury.
offenses, he tends to go away from the run a lot. In the playoffs, you need a good running game. I get Jaden Daniels he's a great athlete. I mean, you could win a lot of games throwing the ball, but when it comes down to it, you play somewhere really cold. You're gonna need to chew the clock down, and you're gonna need a real good defense. I think Dan Quinn's perfect with the defense, but yeah, Kingsbury pretty much shit the bed when he was with Arizona, and he went away from running the ball, and a lot of that shit went on Murray when they were in Arizona, and I feel like I said, Philadelphia's catching them at the right time. I think Philly will beat the Commanders this Thursday. I think it's in Washington, right?
No, it's in Philly.
Oh, wow. You see, like I said, they're just catching teams at the right time. they really are. Like I'm like fuck. And then when I do the pickups, I'm like, I don't want to fucking pick Philly.
So I'm not here to sway anybody who to pick or whatever. It is what it is. But I think Philly's beating tomato cans.
There you go.
So they can lose to Washington. Because had Washington won this past week, I would have felt better for Philly. But they lost. So I actually think they get the 50-50 effect. I think they lost on Sunday so they could beat Philly on Thursday.
I thought I was the only one that thought about where that things like that.
No, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
I'm like fuck. So they lost this week. That means this team needs to win because they're going to play a lot harder. But I know that's not technically true. But I mean that's just the way everybody sees it. I mean
because that's how I think sometimes with Thursday football. Like man, since he had lost the Sunday before last week's game, man, I'm guaranteeing that they're going to beat Baltimore. But they won. I'm like, they're not going to beat Baltimore. They should have, but they didn't.
And then another thing too that persuades me that more to the Philly side, that I feel like Philly's going to beat them is that you're on 2-3 days rest or even 1 or 2 day practice. You're not able to put in more passing plays. So what's there to do is run the ball, and Philly has Saquon, and then Washington they like to throw the ball a lot.
Well, here might be a factor, maybe not that big. I don't know how much y'all think it matters. Philly played at a 3:30 game Central Time versus Washington played the noon game. Now, those 3-hour rests, it might not feel like a lot, right? And obviously, Washington's not that far from DC. DC is not that far from Philly. So, but hey, whatever rest you can get, I'm just saying it might be a factor. I just want to throw that out there. I could be wrong.
And Philly played in Dallas, right? Where did Washington? Where did they played at home, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Washington was home, and then Philly played Dallas. So,
granted, Dallas wasn't a match, but you still got to travel all the way to Dallas.
Yeah, I take that 3-hour flight home, probably.
Yeah,
whatever.
So that's even more hours.
And then, so I'm just saying, Washington can take a bus ride to Philly. Really, they don't need.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah, they don't have to be.
So crazy. It kind of works out for them on a Thursday because
So Washington might have a shot. Now, where I agree with Alex is that the last 3 games, especially starting with the Hail Mary game, you really have seen a little regression from Jaden. Now, it could be just that the defenses are figuring out, hey, whatever we have implemented for Lamar, let's do it for this team. Whatever, I don't know, whatever it may be. But you're looking at the stats. The Bears, they only lose by 3. Why? A Hail Mary. Cool. They should have probably lost that game. Or they should have won because the Bears sucked most of the matchup. They barely beat the Giants. 5 points. And mind you, the Giants, not a great team, but you should really realistically where you are, you probably they shouldn't be that close. And then you lose a 1-point game to Pittsburgh.
Sure.
So maybe Philly might be catching them at the right time, as Alex says. But at the same time, too, we just said, Alex, that 50-50 switch up could happen. I don't know.
That's a
it's a
big
toss
ass
up.
game.
It's a toss up. Thursday night football.
Philly just be catching everybody. Like,
but Jeff, can we real quick? Jeff, can we agree though? Thursday night footballs, yes, divisional matchups. But hey, these divisional matchups lately, they've been high standing teams or high competitive teams. We got a good one last week.
Last week was good.
Go ahead, Alex.
Look,
go rant.
Last week, who did the Eagles play? Right, I think we all know this. The Cowboys, right?
Cowgirls.
This past week.
Yes, they just lost. I mean, Dak Prescott has been playing good, but you're going against a backup quarterback. You're catching him at the right time.
Cooper Rush.
I think 1 week they nearly lost to the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars at home. If Trevor throws the ball 2 yards out, like how his man beat the fucking what's the name, Nakobe Dean off the rib,
your best friend.
If he just throws it like 2 yards out like a fade route, it's a touchdown and they win. I'm telling you, like, man, people are gonna call me a hater, but dude, we were watching the same fucking game. Like, let's be real, dude. Like,
hey, bro, I call you a hater because you said Philly wouldn't even make the playoffs. I call you a hater because of that.
Shit, if the other teams were playing to their part, the Cowboys are playing to their part. The fucking Eagles.
What part? He suck. They got no offensive line no more. Sorry, Zach Martin. You're retired. They got no running back. Sorry, Zeke. Go to Cancun. Go to Cowboys.
You're wrong.
What do they got? What do you mean I'm wrong for that?
You're wrong because he's done more than Mike McCarthy. Didn't you hear?
Oh my God, Michael Parsons, the podcaster. Oh, he was speaking. Podcaster. Oh my God. I wish we could find the linebacker because the fucking podcaster is talking way too much.
Yeah.
Good fucking these comments were stupid as hell. His comments were dumb. It's like, oh well, these guys have done more than Mike McCarthy's ever done. I'm like, and then he's like, y'all took it out of context. Bitch, you said it. The fuck? Like, come on, man. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I am enjoying though what we're getting out of this season. As far as like the bottom teams, sucks to suck, but that just means the lottery pick is gonna be up for grabs, really. So we'll see how that goes. Any surprising things as far as sports related before we move on to the final thing?
The one thing we didn't talk about earlier was that play by Baker. I think that was like the play of the week where he was holding off. Who was it?
Nick Bosa. Maga Bosa.
I couldn't believe how long that went on for, and then he threw it. Man, Baker's been playing really, really good.
Man.
He asked him. He's like, "Did you vote for Trump?" He's like, "Yes." All right, you got this one, buddy. I'll let you slide,
bro. It's true, Alex. When he sees a white quarterback, he's not as aggressive. When he sees a black quarterback, Nick Bosa is a killer.
Right.
He took it easy on Baker.
He's gonna be like Trump 2028.
He's crazy.
But we had comments from earlier, so we can really like answer them real quick. Joe says Casey's just showing teams there's multiple ways to win. It's called paying the refs, apparently. It's not their favorite on paper, but it's a mental thing. Mahomes and Andy own the NFL, says Cody. Milton says the Chargers probably have really good chance of beating KC if healthy. Yeah, man, but how many of those guys are going to find separation against that freaking secondary? In the words of Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Yeah, I want to do it just for y'all. He also says to go on the road last year was not easy. If it was any year to beat the Chiefs, it was last year. You got a point. They were 11-6, but hey, to be fair, Travis Kelce woke up in the postseason, and he went off on all those games. The Ravens secondary in the playoffs, says Joe. I don't know how that's going to fare. Not good, sadly. Cody says Sirianni's will cost Philly. Yep, that's exactly true. They should have probably had more losses now because of Sirianni. The Jaguars game included wasn't on his shit. just because he doesn't want to go for fucking field goal kicks and all that shit. Go for it for 4th down every time. Cody says if the Packers blitz Goff like they did Stroud, they could upset Detroit. I don't know, man. Detroit went to Green Bay and whooped that ass. I don't know, bro. I don't know that.
It was a rainy, ugly game. Maybe. I don't know.
Joe says, but Philly had a blowout win and Washington was in a dogfight. Maybe true, but
yeah.
I mean, travel, all that shit, it could make a difference. And then Milton says, to counter what I said earlier, KC secondary isn't good. Laughing out loud. So we'll see how it goes. But guys, for the final topic of the night, since it's just us 3, it is time for name me the 10 worst QBRs of week 10.
Let me get my paper.
And thankfully, I have no cheaters here. Just Jeff and his notes.
Just my notes.
Guys, there's only 28 candidates because there was only 14 games this week. So please, you have 3 strikes available to you. Please don't get this wrong. There's plenty of bad quarterbacks this week. You got time.
We got a lot in our disposal to fire up.
Now, there's only technically with this team 6 strikes. So come on, fellas. I'm gonna start with our boy Jeffrey D. Lujan. What is your first name?
Oh man, give me my boy, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers was the comes in at number 5 with a QBR of 23.8.
There we go.
Alex?
I sent it on our group thread. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff was number 6 on this list with a QBR of 29.1. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right, give me. Ooh, man, it's crazy. I have all these old, like all our old ones, and like all these quarterbacks are not even playing anymore. They're on the sideline. It's crazy. I can't even find one.
Some of those teams were on buys this week, probably.
You know what? Give me. Let's get him out the way. Let's see if he's on there. Give me C.J. Stroud.
Ooh, C.J. Stroud came in at number 7 with a QBR of 33. Did not score in the second half. Crazy. Alex?
Give us the future of Chicago, and he's gonna bring us a Super Bowl. Hopefully. Give me Caleb Williams.
He came in at number 2 with a QBR of 13.6.
He's on here a lot, so I don't know how the fuck people think he's our Lord and Savior.
Hey, he's already got halfway through to 4,000 and half the time. He's already at 2,100 passing yards. He could still get y'all 4,000 this year.
Oh, my God.
The goals are so low. He's just whatever at this point. All right, Jeff. Will you get a strike?
Nah, not yet. Daniel Jones.
Ooh. Close, Jeff. He was actually 10. You just...
Oh, he's number 10? I thought he was going to be number 1.
No, he's number 10 with a QBR of 33.9.
Wow. Yeah, I thought that was like an easy one.
That man was throwing balls into the stands for no fucking reason. Your player was on a dig and open, and you still threw that bitch out. What the hell, bro? You are gone. All right, that was 10. That was close to 11. So, Alex, give me a name.
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush came in at number 3 with a QBR of 16.4. And I'll say it now, no, Trey Lance did not qualify, so don't go for Trey Lance. So I got 1, 4, 8, and 9 still available, gentlemen.
Give me Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold came in at number 9 with a QBR of 33.6.
Damn.
It's getting tight right here.
Now it's getting tight.
This is where the cheeks start clinching up.
These cheeks are double cheeked up. They never clinch.
If I see them clinch up at the Turkey Bowl, I'm going to fucking laugh.
Give me.
Hey, Alex, so do you miss the Chicago game for the Turkey Bowl?
Oh, he does early in the morning.
No, it's early. It's before
It's before that early game?
Yeah.
God, y'all are waking up all early.
He's waking up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m.
Shit.
Give me the QB that got a win this week. Bryce Young.
Alex, that is your first strike.
Damn.
He was top 11. He got a QBR of 58.5.
He was top 11.
Yes. Like top as in like the best of the week. Like good.
Holy fuck, we had a lot of bad QB plays.
Yes. And he was 58.5. We had bad week of QB play. So there's a fucking shitload of names you can fucking say, and it might be a strike. Jeffrey, your turn.
All right, I don't know who to go with yet. All right, go. Give me Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco came in at number 4 with a QBR of 21.9. Guys, is it time to bring back AR5?
No, I don't think so.
He was on my list. That's why I was like, oh yeah.
He had 3 interceptions, Alex. I don't know. He's not played good the last 2 games. It might be.
He's gonna do the same shit.
All right.
Give me Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. That is strike number 2.
Oh, damn,
That was bottom 11, Alex. You're right there.
Oh my god.
So only 2 names remain, number 1 and number 8.
Damn. If I had the list of just all the teams, I would get it. Let's see.
You might not actually. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm running out of names. I don't think he's on there though, but give me Bo Nix.
No, he had a great game.
Bo Nix, Jeff is actually going to give you a strike.
Yeah. I'm just running out of names.
He was actually top 6 with a QBR of 69.3.
Dang.
These names, I'll see if Jeff gets one more strike before Alex strikes out, and I'll give y'all a hint.
All right.
Go ahead, Alex.
He didn't have a good game. The Bears played against him. I don't think he had a great game. Give me Drake May.
And unfortunately, Alex, that is strike number 3.
What did Drake May come in at?
He came in at top 7 with a QBR of 67.5.
What the fuck? He threw literally to the fucking to TJ Edwards.
Hey, it was on the move, to be fair. Let's not get into it. Stop trying to throw my boy under the bus. He's the future of New England. Jeff, you're all alone. You have 2 strikes available, but can you clinch up and get 1 and 8? If you get a strike, I'll give you a hint. But
okay, give me 1 sec. I'm going through these names. I think I know who one is. Yeah, I don't know who the last one is. This guy has to be on there. Did we already? I don't think we said him right. Give me Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is strike number 2.
Damn, where was he at?
He was top 15, bottom 14, 46.5. All right. This might give it away, but I also don't want y'all to fucking look bad on TikTok. These 2 guys. Oh, there's two different things I can say. Oh, what would be harder? They went to the same college.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
So
I know who it is.
Okay.
No, wait, no. Well, I know.
There was an easier hint, but yeah, I don't want to do that one.
God damn, am I gonna say his name? Give me,
No.
give me Patty.
That's
Wrong.
3.
Damn, I don't know who the hell.
All right, so number 8 with a QBR of 33.2 was Tua Tagovailoa.
Damn.
And Jalen Hurts.
No.
That was my next guess, Jalen.
And this is the one where it threw everybody off. I knew it did because it was not going to be in your notes at all, Jeff. Number 1 was Mac Jones.
Damn, I should have known that. Jacksonville.
Yes, Jacksonville. Trevor didn't play this week. He had a QBR of 12.8.
Hey, Jacksonville's defense is playing really good.
Hey,
Jacks right there.
if Trevor was playing, it would have been better, but
Yeah.
you know, especially with what freaking Sam Darnold did this week. But yeah, gentlemen, that's it. That's all I got for tonight.
Yeah, and then Tua threw me off because they won, so I didn't think he was that bad. He was that bad.
Why I say sometimes like you don't worry about the wins too much.
Yeah.
I know that might throw it off, but like Tua didn't play good. Hey, anyone else thought he looked like Frozone last night?
Who's that?
Tua. When he took off his helmet, he's got all that white gear on his head. He looked like Frozone from Incredibles.
I didn't get to see that. I was watching the Spurs game on the big screen, and I was watching the the NFL game on my phone. So I missed that one.
I retweeted it. Hold on, let me see.
That's funny. Damn, I'm mad about Mac Jones. I should have known Mac Jones. I am. I should have got Mac Jones.
So then I put this up.
Hell yeah.
Where's my super suit? But yeah, people forget. I think forgot that we fucking played because Sam Darnold took all the attention for how bad he played.
Yeah.
So but yeah, guys, that's it. That's all I got for tonight. Hope y'all stay safe out there. There's gonna be some good weekend games this week. I know Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson on Netflix on Friday. I don't know who's actually interested in that, but if you are, hope you have fun enjoying that.
I mean, you gotta watch it just to see what the hell happens, but this is gonna be horrible.
These guys from work, they're like, "Oh, Tyson and Jake fight at Alex's." I'm like, "Motherfucker, you just go ahead and just volunteer my house or what?"
You volunteer your house all the time. This mother, hey, your son's birthday? I know you live in San Antonio, but come on down. You like?
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna. I don't want to watch Jake Paul. I'm like, well, I told him I was like, if you guys bring food, I'll make it.
I'll tell you right now, Alex. I'll go watch it with you just for the shits and giggles.
For real? I mean, yeah. If you want to come down, I mean, I don't mind. But I don't really give a fuck about boxing. Not boxing, but like
celebrity boxing. Celebrity boxing. Yeah,
nobody's gonna care.
I'd rather be watching the next night UFC 309. That shit's gonna be a banger because the GOAT comes back. But I mean, Tyson and Paul it's hilarious. I mean,
and
Tyson,
it's free, right? It's free. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, I want to see how free it actually is. Right. I hope they're not like we gotta put it down another $5 subscription on top of it.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's free.
I ain't paying nothing for that fight.
No, nobody should. Nobody should. You know what, Alex? If a bunch of us show up, we'll chip in like 5 cents each, and we'll like
$5.
Exactly. But guys, thank y'all for watching, whether it was live or on demand. We truly appreciate it. Check out our boys tomorrow night on the People's Debate Wednesday nights. It should be on tomorrow, talking about the power rankings, the not so average Joe's power rankings. I should say that's actually the name of it. Check out all their stuff. But guys, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at Puro Pinche Sports. Don't really follow us on Twitter. I don't tweet that much, so it don't matter.
Follow me on Twitter, man. I'm always talking a lot of shit.
I don't even follow you on Twitter, I think, so I don't even know how true that is. I guess I gotta follow you to find out. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But guys, for Jay, Free D, Lujan, the Professor, Alex Cruz, I am Jose Garza. We are Puro Pinche Sports, and we are out. Later, fellas.
Later, man.